Hey, so it's Lisa, and today I wanted to make a brief video about the best ways and the logical, mathematical, data-driven processes to decide how to deliver a program you have and how to price it. So the first thing I want to do is talk about the difference between blog posts and a program content, just so we're both on the same page. So blog posts are educational content. They help people understand the why, for example, sleep is important, or why they should reduce their stress. It may give a list of ideas with some practical steps in it, but this is free content and it is not a program to help them go through those steps. It is not giving away a ton of details, and it's basically teaching them the value of what you know, positioning you as the expert in this area, and why they should care about whatever, managing their sleep or their stress. So blog posts are educational content. It's not necessarily something that you would sell in a program. On the other hand, program content takes those steps that you may have listed for free on your blog and turns them into actionable, practical, step-by-step process that you can sell in a paid program that may or may not include coaching with you, and it's helping people get the results. So your blog is kind of like the information, and your program is like the transformation. Sometimes it even includes some accountability, one-on-one coaching calls, or it could even be a course. But the idea is the difference between the blog content is free online educational content that gets people to find you and see you as the expert, listing out tips, and your program is your paid content that is secured. So for example, it's behind a paywall of some sort, practical, actionable, it helps your clients get results, and it coaches them to make changes and may include accountability. So now that we know we're talking about a program and not a blog post, where do you even get such programs? Well, of course, you could create it from scratch, or you could hire somebody to create something unique for you, which people have hired me to make unique programs for them to sell to their clients. You could take content you already have and edit it into an actionable, practical, step-by-step program, or investing in a done-for-you program, which some are available in my shop, for example, the stress management program. And that is something that no matter where you get it from, if it is a done for you program, please always customize it for yourself, for your brand, for your positioning, in your voice, and to attract your ideal clients. You should consider it like 80% done and not 100% done. And that doesn't matter whether it's blog content or program content. Done for you content should be customized. So here is the whole point of this video is, great, we have this program. How do we decide the best way to deliver it and to price it? So of course, when we have a program, we can decide on our format. We have an online business, so we can use whatever format we are comfortable with. Maybe we want it written out. Maybe we want to record ourselves talking about it and use either it as an audio program or a video program. We could create an infographic. Whatever it is we do, the idea with a program is each step becomes its own lesson. It becomes its own module, and everyone is separate, and you can deliver it separately at separate times. So now how do you deliver it? Whatever tech you're comfortable with. Honestly, if you don't like the tech, you can always update it next time. You can change it. You can relaunch it. Use what you're comfortable with right now. Get a few people into the program, and then you can always update it. So for example, you could use email. You can literally take each, written or audio or video or infographic in a separate email in your autoresponder, schedule them all out, and all of a sudden you have an email course. Now you can use that and have them go out daily. You can have them go out weekly, anything in between, a couple of times a week. I probably wouldn't wait for more than a week between tips or lessons, whatever you want to call them. But the idea is they're getting it through email. They sign up and they start getting this email sequence, and it could very well be behind a paywall that they have to pay to access. You can also use a course delivery program. Let's say you want to invest in something like, for example, I don't know, like Teachable or Kajabi or whatever. Great programs are out there. I don't have one that I particularly love that I've used. I haven't tried them all, but a course delivery program where you have it set up where each video or audio or written or whatever has its own module, and then people can access them step by step. You can always just literally upload them onto one or several pages of your website, password protect it, and when people buy it from you, what they're doing is they're buying the password, and then they just log in through your site with the password and do it. It's not the most high tech, it's not the nicest, it's also not the most secure, but it's a great way to launch things for the first time and see how many people are engaged with it, how many people are interested in buying it before investing in putting it in something really big and professional. Another thing too is, let's say you want to use social media. Let's say you want to run this program through your group. You can create a post, a social media post with all of the relevant content, and schedule it to go out every day or a couple times a week or every week in that group. Use whatever tech you're comfortable with. You can always update it and improve it in the next round. So now that we kind of know that the program has to be individual lessons and all separate pieces of content, actionable, and we can use whatever tech we want and we're comfortable with, how do we price it? And here is where things drive me crazy when people say, price it for what feels right, or slightly out of your comfort zone, or what kind of value are you giving, or what is your time worth? And these may be great for you. And if they are, you don't need to watch the rest of this video. These are kind of nebulous to me, and I like something that's more data-driven and strategic and systematic to actually make a decision based on market information that I have. So that's why I decided to make the next few slides to show you how I go through the process to price things out. So what we need here for this mathematical model, being a scientist, love the math, we need 4 things. Okay, so 4 pieces of data. Number 1, how much money do you want to earn? And each of these has its own slide coming up. Number 2, how many engaged followers do you have? Number 3, how successful is your sales process? Like, what is the conversion rate on your personal sales process? And that's how we decide how to price our program. So, for example, I want to earn $1,000 in sales. Remembering, of course, $1,000 in sales is gross income. It's net income would also mean you have to consider transaction fees, taxes, your course platform if you're using it, whatever else you're using. So if you want to earn $1,000 net, you're probably going to need to earn $1,200, $1,300, $1,400 in sales. So just to keep it simple, let's say we want to earn $1,000 in top level gross sales. That's data point 1. Data point 2, how many engaged followers do I have? Okay, well, I'm going to use an email list as an example because email really is still, as far as I know, the highest converting, most engaged list. They're going to be more engaged than your followers on social media, etc. So how to know how many of your email subscribers are engaged is how many of them not only open your emails, but click into your emails to get to the next step. So for example, if you send out a sales email to 1,000 people, X number of them, say 200 of them open the email. And let's say of those 200, only half of them click through to your sales page. What you have is you have a 10% click-through rate for your email. So you have 100 engaged subscribers. Now, this is why people are always saying you need to grow your list. The money is in your list, because really what you need for your list is you need a whole lot of people on your list to get a small number of sales. This doesn't mean you need a huge number of people on your list to make $1,000. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you. But the idea is looking at The realistic parts of your business right now will help you be able to reach that goal using the method, the delivery method and the pricing method that's going to help you reach that goal realistically. Okay, so far we have an income goal of $1,000 and we have 100 engaged subscribers. Okay, check for your own data, your own numbers to be sure, but this is just for simplicity. Third metric, how successful is your sales process? Well, guess what? It depends on your process and it's going to be unique for you. So for example, you may have a sales process where it's strictly through email and you send them a sales email and the people click through. And then what you want to know is how many people who read your email, click through your email onto your sales page is now buying from that sales page. What's the conversion rate of that sales page? Because as you can see, people go through many stages before they buy. The last bullet point here is how many subscribers would book a call with you to buy. So for example, if your sales process isn't just email sales, but it's click here to chat with me to see if this program is going to be useful for you, how many people who you actually speak with are going to buy? These are going to have very different numbers. So for example, your sales process through emails might be as low as 1 to 3%. You may have a conversion. You may send 100 people to your sales page and get one purchase. And that's okay because they haven't spoken with you. That's a low touch strategy and it's going to have a low conversion rate. If you're using this sales strategy, that's when you need a big email list. But it's not the only sales strategy. The other sales strategy, of course, you could use any combination and permutation, but let's just take this other kind of extreme example in the other direction. If you have 100 people who book a call with you and you know that when you get on the phone with somebody, you can sense whether you like them or not, whether you want to work with them or not, whether this program is right for them, whether you think it's going to help them, whether it's a good time for them to do it. All of these things you kind of sort out. It's like an interview. With that kind of investment in a sales process, you could get 20% or even more people who buy after speaking with you. This is a high touch sales process where you're investing time in every single person, knowing that you might get 1 out of 5 people buy, but it's a lot higher than 1 out of 100 when nobody talks to you because you're an awesome person and people want to talk to you. And when they talk to you, they might want to work with you and you might see how valuable your programs are for those people. So we have 3 of the 4 data points. We're going to plug them into a really simple formula to see, great, now that we have a realistic idea, what should we price our program at? Well, if we're expecting 1 sale based on the first model where we have 1,000 email subscribers, 100 of them click through, we have a one-ish, maybe a bit more % conversion rate, we're gonna get 1 sale. We need to price our program at $1,000 in order to make that $1,000 because realistically, based on our list size, based on our conversion and sales process, we need a high priced program for a small number of clients. And that's so okay. That's okay. The second way is, hey, I can convert 20% of people because when I talk to them, I can sense whether or not this is going to be a great program for them. It's going to help them. It's good timing. I want to work with them. They're awesome. And this is not going to make or break them. This is going to be fantastic for them. And if you know you can convert 20% and you have 100 people coming through to book calls with you, you're amazing if you can get 100 calls, because if you can make those 20 sales, you can sell your program for $50 and get 20 people in it and boom, you're done. But let's put another dose of reality on here. We're not going to be able to get 100 sales calls done during your launch period. So let's say we're down to 10. Let's say we can realistically get 10 calls with people. Put an email out to our email list. I'm launching a new program. Click here to book a call if you're interested. 10 of them are going to click through because by the time, if they're willing to invest time to speak with you about it, they're already pretty serious. They're going to be more serious than people who are just clicking through to a sales page just to read and find out more. They're like, hey, I'm really interested in more, and I'm going to set time into my schedule to chat with you to see if this could really help me. So they're already warmer. So let's say you can get 10 calls. Of those 10 calls, again, let's say you can convert 20% to sales. 20% of them is going to be a great fit. That means you can not only sell your program at $500, you can totally sell it higher if you want. But if you want to have 2 sales, you can set it at $500 and you have a group program. You don't have to invest as much time necessarily into it. You can still sell it as a one-on-one program, 2 one-on-one programs at $1,000, or you can have a group calls and group coaching for $500. So just to do a quick recap, if you want to earn $1,000, you can sell your program for $1,000 and you can aim for 1 sale. And this could be a low touch sale, which means through email. So you're not really interacting with people personally. But for $1,000, you may want a high touch program. You may want it to be a one-on-one program where you're literally having weekly calls or monthly calls with somebody one-on-one, and you're going to answer their emails and be available to them on some level, and give them some personal coaching for that $1,000. And this is okay. This is actually the way I should have started my business, and I did not. And now that I know better, I want you to know better, because to be honest, when I started and I'm trying to sell low priced health articles to a smallish audience, please don't ask how little money I made. It was ridiculous. And I literally, over the years and over spending thousands of dollars on business coaching and several business coaches, I had 3 really great business coaches help me get through this. I realized my whole business model was upside down. So if we go down to the last bullet point here, the other option is we can sell it for $500. We can aim for 2 higher touch sales. Say we chat with 10 people or so, and it could be a lower touch program if we want it to be a group program. Again, we could sell it for $1,000 and have 2 one-on-one clients paying $1,000 or more because you're giving them so much of your time and effort. You're making it so much more worthwhile for your client to be able to chat with you, get customized and personalized recommendations based on their situation, or to know that if they email you, you're going to get a response by the next business day. Like, having that kind of support is worth something. And again, $1,000 is $1,000, but that's not going to carry us far. So let's say we want to earn $1,000 per month. We would just rinse and repeat this per month. We send out an email, hey, I have some spots open for this program. Click here and it can go to your sales page, or click here, it can go to your, book a call with me. And then you can rinse and repeat this over and over again. Another beauty is once you have a few people through your program, you're going to get feedback. You're going to give them amazing customer service and support. So you're going to get great testimonials. Then you take those testimonials, you use it for your next launch. You take their feedback to upgrade your program and maybe include additional, worksheets or support or other things that they requested when they went through. And you have a more valuable program and an easier to sell because you now have testimonials. So as I was saying, this was a big mistake that I made. So when you're starting out and you don't have a huge number of engaged subscribers, you may consider higher priced offers to smaller numbers of clients. And you can increase this by using a higher converting or a better, more higher touch sales process, so that you're not just emailing people links, kind of hoping they're going to click through. You're emailing links and you're chatting with them, because it's easier to actually get to know somebody, get to know whether this program is good for them. And then you give them great customer service, you improve the program, you improve your sales process, and you relaunch it. So the bottom line, your business income isn't just tied to what is your value or what feels right. In my opinion, your business income is tied to how big your engaged audience is. So yes, always be growing your audience and always be looking to improve engagement. It's It's also tied to your sales process. So always try to be improving your sales process, have better sales calls, and also how much you charge per person. You might need to charge what might feel really uncomfortable right away to start making the money that you really need to make from your business. So here's a hot tip. As I was going through these slides, I'm like, you know what this really means? This really means that copywriting, if you're literally going to spend thousands of dollars to have somebody copyright a high converting sales page for you, hold off. I think it's worthwhile. Don't hold off forever, but hold off on getting this investment and investing in this until you know you're going to be able to send a ton of traffic to that sales page, and that sales page is going to be your conversion factor. So if you have a small number of traffic, a small number of subscribers, it is not time in your business necessarily to spend thousands of dollars to have a copywriter go through and really give you great copy if you're only going to be able to put it in front of a couple hundred people. So save that, learn your own sales process, do higher priced offers for fewer clients to make the same money. Because think about it, you have high number of audience, you can afford to sell things for 50 bucks. When you have a smaller audience, in order to make the same money, you're going to need to sell things for $1,000 or more, for example. So again, all of these numbers are just examples. Look up your own numbers, but this is exactly how to go through and kind of calculate and mathematically deduce how you can position your sales and your process for your program. So again, if you don't have a large engaged audience, you can still make money, but not, and I repeat, not by selling low priced items. You need to sell high touch. You need to sell high touch items. You need to sell expensive items. You need a high touch sales process, and you can still make money. Because when I started out, I was following all the bigger players, and they were selling things for like $100, couple $100, no big deal. And I'm like, ooh, I need to be able to sell things for that price. No, I wasn't ready in my business yet to invest in having a really good sales coach or business coach. And what I really should have done is when I had a smaller audience, I should have been selling big offers, big packages to fewer people, because I would have made so much more money in those years. But it would have been such a good experience because I would have given great customer service, great support. I would have had great testimonials, and that will all help me to develop something as I'm growing my audience. That's when you can lower your prices. So that's the end of this. I want to say thank you. I wish you all the best with your programs. If you have any questions, you can feel free to put it down in the comments below. And I look forward to seeing you next time around. See ya.